To follow. Hayama's non-flying also light theory. What if Einstein saw the world from the light that was flying? What if Hayama saw the world from the light that didn't fly? Violation of the principle of invariant light speed. The 3rd of August 2021 49 and 43 seconds articles. People who often believe in relativity often hear that light velocity invariance is not broken in experiments, and that relativity is correct without breaking it. Are there really broken experiments in the past? If you look it up, I will introduce it. First of all, there is a clock hypothesis that, if the speed of light is invariant, people who move relative to each other by constant velocity linear motion will see their clocks lag. Clock paradox. Edit. And now, let's say that there is a pair of twins here, and the two are gradually moving apart while performing an inertial movement. At this time, it is concluded from the theory of special relativity that the younger brother's clock seems to be behind when seen from the older brother, and conversely, the older brother clock is seen to be behind when seen from the younger brother. This is so strange that it is sometimes called the clock paradox. 39. But it is not particularly contradictory. Because the two in inertial motion will never meet again, there is no way to meet again and see which clock is behind. The above two are correct as explanations of the theory of special relativity. Constant velocity linear motion is undoubtedly inertial motion, and if a time delay is observed between them, the light velocity invariance is correct. But do the time delays really look like each other? There was a good experiment that made it clear. See the formulas and figures below. 4. Verification experiment of relativistic Doppler effect experiment of MacArthur, D.W. MacArthur, et al. By utilizing the relativistic Doppler effect, the energy of the fourth harmonic photon of the ND-doped yttrium aluminum garnet laser is changed by changing the crossing angle theta with the 800 MeV atomic hydrogen H0 beam. Shifted from 1.4 to 15.8 eV within the reference frame. The crossing angle theta of the well-known Lyman transition, 1s to NP, of H0 was measured, and these data were fitted with the equation of E sad smiley E0 G0, gamma, 1 plus beta cos theta. When the value of E0 G0 thus obtained was compared with the measured value of E0 of the laser photon, G0 equals 1.00004, 27, was obtained at beta equals 0.84. In this way, the prediction of the special relativity of G0 equals 1 was verified with an accuracy of 2.710. Since gamma 1, it means that the frequency goes up equals blue shift. That, if they are inertial systems, the delay in time may be observed as a redshift. It's being observed earlier in time. What happened? I investigated whether there were any scholars who argued with such clear results. In 1907, Einstein proposed an experiment using flying atoms to confirm the time extension. In that paper, the flying atom was considered as a flying clock. The reference to the Doppler effect was indirect, first-order VC in Stark's experiment. In 1922, Schrödinger showed that the emission of photons by flying atoms is regulated by the conservation law of energy and linear momentum. Therefore, the photon Doppler effect is the result of the exchange of energy and momentum between atoms and photons. The central role is the jump of quantum energy. E of transition, relativistic invariant. The first realization of the experiment devised by Einstein was by Ives and Stilwell, 1938. Since then, to this day, experiments of this kind have been repeated for better accuracy, and/or deviations from the prediction of special relativity. A striking feature is that all papers dealing with these experiments completely ignore Schrödinger's mechanical treatment. The origins of this abbreviation come in many varieties: practical, consensus and experimentation between formulas, wherever they come from, historical, deep roots of the wave theory of light, and epistemological, basic epistemological rules. Ignored. This Schrödinger's mechanical treatment does not change between inertial systems, non-inertial systems, inertial systems, without interposing a non-inertial system, Newton and Galileo's law of inertia, inertial system, and non-inertial system. Declaration of the system is a correct inertial system. However, it has been proved by experiments that there could be no uninertial systems that seem to be behind each other on the assumption that the velocity of light is invariant, but it is malicious to ignore. The experiment by MacArthur, D.W. MacArthur, et al. Is the same as the following, c, and the second-order Doppler effect is clearer than the fact that there is no optical aberration, c, only by changing the reflection to the transmission. In this experiment, hydrogen in a beam of hydrogen atoms moving at 0.84 C sometimes gives energy to photons and appears in harmonics. 5. Reflection of light from mirror moving at relativistic velocity. Reflection of electromagnetic wave from wave generated by laser plasma and frequency rise. In the case of relativity, it is important to note that such a broken experiment is misleading by claiming that it was correct. The non-mutual experimental result of relativistic mechanics denies the mutual clock hypothesis of special relativity, but if a professional scholar says it is correct, it cannot be distinguished by amateurs. In the first place, I don't have any basic knowledge, so I can only cheat. However, as revealed by the theory of relativity, we must think that the attribute, mass, also changes depending on the coordinate system that observes the measurable mass. Therefore, the definition of force should be returned to Newton's first definition. The temporal change of momentum is proportional to force, as Planck pointed out. If momentum is the product of inertial mass and velocity, the asymmetric absurdity in which the inertial mass differs depending on the direction of motion is eliminated. This shape is relativistically appropriate. I think there are others, so please comment if you find them. Participating in the ranking. Please click to support us.